There. That's for that. Hi, Miss Rian. How are you this evening? I'm just tying a knot in my cotton as we speak. Oh, come on. There. To sew the flowers on. How are we this evening, Rian? Are you okay? I've had a very productive day. I've been busy with my kitchen. Making things, no, decorating more like. But yes, been very busy. Looking forward to showing you. So yes, been a very productive day. It's almost complete. We're waiting on one more thing to come through the door, and that is our table, and that's it. That is it. Well, I'm going to buy a new. Well, I want to buy a new. Chris reckons we don't need it, but I want to buy a new kettle, because it's not matching my toaster. Of course, it's got to be matching. I want to buy a new teapot. And what else? Oh, a better dish. Hello, Lisa, sweetheart. Oh, sweet. Bet you're sore today. Hi, Julian. How are we all? I was just discussing what my day's been like today. I've had a very productive day. I've been doing my kitchen, which, well, we've been doing the kitchen nearly almost a week, but we got a new wash machine and a timber dryer coming tomorrow, so I'm all excited. Only the small things in life, you do get excited of these little things, and yet I complain about doing the washing all the time. Yeah, when I get a new machine, it's the best present ever. So yes, that's coming tomorrow. So been busy all week with the kitchen, and it's finally done. But I was just letting everybody know what I'm going to be buying new, which will be a new new kettle, because I wanted to match my toaster, new teapot, and a new butter dish. That's what I want to be buying new, for it to all match and sink in. So exciting and fun. I had a funeral. Oh, bless you, Rian. Well, I'm sorry to hear you had to go to a funeral. My heart goes out to you and the family, for whoever it was for. And I pray for comfort for both you and their family. And let you both find peace. What colours are you having your kitchen colour? Well, I was thinking about doing a video, but I don't know what to do. It's all been under wraps and keys. I haven't told no one. The only person I did tell, only because he was living with me, was Chris. But I was thinking of doing a video to show you, because there's a couple of crafty bits that I've done for the kitchen too. So I was thinking of doing a video. What do you all think? Will you be swapping Chris for a new model? Well, if he doesn't get my new kettle and my new teapot and my new butter dish, of course. Oh, bless you, Rian. Well, I'm praying for peace at this difficult time. I pray for peace and hope that and healing. Happy news. Yes. I'll have to do a video now. I've said it. I'll have to do a video on it. But yes, it's all mysterious. I haven't told no one. But I did tell Chris, of course, because he was living with me. But I was ordering things, and they came today, and he went, "Why have you bought this?" I asked for a spice rack. This isn't a spice rack. I went, "Of course it is." And then I showed him where all his little spices could go, and you went, that isn't a spice rack. I went, of course it is. So anyway, enough about my kitchen. I will do a video on it because I want to show you all the little crafty bits, because we tend to make, well, I tend to make craft things for a craft room but not think about outside a room. But I have been thinking more about what I can make in my home. So there's a couple of bits and pieces I have made. I haven't done a video on it because I was hoping to do a video on the whole kitchen, but yes, all the painting's done and everything, so yay, all exciting. Right, now last week I was showing you guys how to do a basket. This pattern hasn't come from me at all. I don't pretend it came from me. The link is in the description bar below. I've put the link in. And anyway, the pattern pieces of you. So it's a hanging basket, and they called it a nest basket. I think they called it. And anyway, because of the challenge, everybody made me flowers, didn't they? So I did a journal for the lovely Sarah, who received her goodies and her journal today, and I think she's done a video on it, so that'll be nice to watch. But she said she's going to take her time with her journal, which I don't blame her because it is mega chock-a-block. So I thought I could have sent all the flowers, you know, separate things to Lynn, but I thought, why not make a basket and attach the flowers that way? So she's able to use the basket, but then she's able to see all the different flowers and who's made them. So these are the pattern strips. You will need 2 side strips. You will need a front piece and you will need a back piece. And they do give you guidelines on how to cut it, which is center front. Place on the fold of your fabric, because this is only half of it. And then when you place this on the fold, don't cut this side, cut all the way around it, and you'll end up with one piece that will look something like that. And then you do the same to the back piece, which is under here somewhere, which is the back piece. And then you cut 4 strips of the side pieces. Now with the side, can you see this? You go up and there's like an angle. Well, you need to be careful. So you need 2 facing this way and 2 facing that way. They don't tell you that on the pattern. They sort of make you guess. But as a sort of help in hand, do 2 that way and 2 that way. It does help when you come to doing the sides. I just come at home today very sore and stiff, but my God, no belly. Waited 26 years to get it done. Oh my word, Lisa. I'm not saying it's tight, but like linen, it is to an instrument of torture. Oh, bless you. You need to rest. Oh, you're going to be sore. But I suppose if you've waited all them many years, I have got to. If you've waited all those many years, the end result will be coming to you shortly. And how amazing will you feel coming into summer now? And you know, wearing clothes that maybe you've never worn before. How amazing is that? You are brave. Do you know that? I don't think I could ever. I hate needles and I hate things, you know, I hate going into hospitals for stop. So you are so brave to go for something like that, and so brave to share it with us, because often when you watch people crafting, we sort of forget what's behind the camera, what's going on behind the camera. And I think we all struggle with our confidence and our insecurities, whether they be the same or different. But that's what makes us human beings. But to be able to have that insecurity and then be able to do something about it, that's brave. That's really brave. Oh, bless you, Lisa. That's funny. Oh, Rian. Oh, bless you guys. Right. So this is the front. I cut all my pieces out last week. The only thing I didn't cut out, so these are the little tags I've been making. Now I did the front last week and I started to sew on everybody's name, and with everybody's name I did a little tag. So this one is from the lovely Rian and it's got her name on, so when Lynn looks at the basket she'll be able to see, all right, okay, so Angie made that one, Carla made that one, no, Carla made them, Sarah made them, and mine and Lynn's, there's not enough room on the side, so I'm going to attach it on the top. So that's why it's loose. But the tags are, you just cut a fabric strip of a tag and you fold it over. That's how I got my tag. So the front is done. I'll move the front out the way now I showed you. This is the back. And I've done some quilting lines because you don't stitch around the edging. Your stitches become your not embellishments, your, what's the word I'm looking for? Not embellishments. What's the word I'm looking for? Your stitches become, oh, I can't think, but you know what I'm trying to say. Your point of view, when you look at it, your eye will glass onto the stitches. So that is the back done. Out front. Now the sides. Last week I showed you all how to do the tags, and I said I would go away and I would decorative. Thank you, Rian, sweetheart. I would go away and I would attach the tags with everybody's name on, made sure I've spelt everybody's name right, because I know last week I was struggling a bit. And I have double checked this is how everybody spells their names. So what I've done one side, sort of to speak, and I'm going to show you how to get to that stage with this. They are not matching. They're not matching because the basket's not going to match with the fabric. The back is going to be that. The front is going to be that. So I thought I'd do the sides a bit different. Last week I think I had the same. This week I've decided to go different. So how to get it to that stage, and then that stage is where we're going to be sticking the flowers on. So I'm going to leave this one for a side a sec, and I'm going to get the flowers out to these names. I've attached a needle and thread and I'm armed ready. Right, so whose am I looking for first? Let's go with Sam. Oh wait, Janet. That's Janet. Janet is on here, Janet is there. Right, let's see. Janet needing some beautiful, beautiful flowers. Bring my needle back. Oh my word. Right, so one flower goes on here, the other one goes on my basket. Good evening, Sarah. I was just letting everybody know you had your prize today. I'm going to throw Janet's thing on and then we'll have to look for Sam's. And I was just saying how beautiful that will be to look for a video. I'm looking forward to watching your video. Good evening, Josephine, sweetheart. How are we this evening? So I'm just going to quickly sew Janet's flower on. And I'll show you how I got it to this stage with the stuffing inside and the, if you can notice, the decorative, thank you, Rian, for your lovely word, decorative line that's going across. I'll show you how to do that. So I'm going to grab it, Janet's flower, and Janet made such a beautiful flower. So I want it so you can see the name. And the only thing I haven't cut is the seam binding, but I thought, not everybody knows how to do seam binding. And then I thought to show you how I do mine. Oh, you can buy seam binding. Super Emotion receiving my wonderful prize. Oh, Sarah. I want to watch your video now. Do you think I can put everybody on pause while I go watch Sarah's video? no bread, no cereals, only 40 grams of porridge per day. Reduce the amount of carbs you eat and eat lots of fruit and veg. Wow. That's amazing, Lisa. Right. Stick a few. I think I should be all right with that. Tie this one off. And then we'll look for the next name. Okay. So there's Miss Janet's done. So Janet, you did a beautiful flower. I'm going to show everybody the flower again now. When I look for, oh gosh, when I look for the next name. Right. There's Janet's flower. How stunning is that? So I'm looking for Sam's now. This is my basket. Trying to find no, Sam did me. Aha. Sam did me some flowers in June. Sam's flowers. She also put these in. Different colours. So I'm going to do, where's, oh. I'm going to stick that there, hoping that that will go through my needle right. If not, it'll be these flowers that goes through. A video will be up in the morning. If I try and upload it, I can't watch live. Well, I can put everybody on pause, you know, Sarah. Wink, wink. I'll put everybody on pause and tell them to come back. Be back now. Just going to go watch Sarah's video. Wish I could lose that much weight. Oh, I know. I was just letting her. I think you're so brave. Honestly, do. I think you are, Lisa, so brave. Because it isn't easy to go. I call it a healthy eating plan. Because no matter what diet you're doing, or the way you do it, or whatever you're doing it, whatever way, which way you do it, whether you follow, you know, whether you follow recipes in and out, whether you make shakes, you know, whatever way you eat, it's a healthy eating plan, because you're not reaching for the things that you used to reach, i.e. like chocolate and crisps and that kind of thing. So it becomes, I always think of it as a healthy eating plan. And I've been on a healthy eating kickback eating plan for about, I would say, for about 6 weeks now, 7 weeks. And I lost my half stone award the other week. So I lost 7.5 or 7 pound, something like that. I think it's 7 pound. Half stone award is 7 pound, and I'm doing it through a group, and I think Sam's doing it as well. I'm doing it through something called Slimming World, and they basically make you look at the way you're eating, how you're eating it. Like yesterday, I cooked some really gorgeous fish cakes, and I poached the fish, which I've never ever done before, poached fish. But I did it yesterday, and they had to go on YouTube and find out how to poach fish. But I did it, and I did it through using milk. But now I didn't realize when you poach fish, you've got the sauce then to make the fish pie. I was like, oh, now that I can do. I love fish pie. Anything fish, I'm there. So if you're eating fish tonight, I'll be there. Oop, about of chocs I had. I'm judging my first class back. My answer here. Oh, bless you. You're brilliant on that hoop, Sarah. Absolutely epic on that hoop. So I'm going to stick one of Sam's paper flowers and then these little foam flowers that Sam sent me. They're a bit tough to go through, but they are going through. Oh yeah. Oh, it's my hand. Right, and I'm going to pop one just here, and I'm going to tie it off. There. So let's tie Sam's off. Will Ryan get back into swimming with you walking? I know, me and Ryan, I was thinking about that, Ryan. Me and you could go swimming. Me and Ryan often meet up once a week. Often? No, we meet up once a week. And whether it be for craft, we sometimes sit here and talk. We sometimes, time just flies by, doesn't it, Mrs. G? It just flies by. So there's Sam's on the end there, and there's her name. Let me show you. And I couldn't use, I was using thread, then I thought, wait a minute, it's even though it's joining in with all the other colours, some of the words you've got to look really closely to see it. So there's Sam's, there's Janet's, and the next one is Sue's. So I'm going to pop these back. So my next Sue's, and I can't remember what Sue sent them to me in. Like I say, I forgot to did I forget? I forgot to cut my seam binding, but then I thought, wait a minute, why am I stressing? Come on, let's tie this off. Okay, but let's find Sue. Oh, this is Sue's. Yeah, this is Sue's. You're doing brilliant. I have a membership in Nuffield Gym Club. I haven't been in years. Never heard of it, really. Oh, you're gonna have to take me now. You've said you're gonna have to take. I have a couple of 14-year-old cats. Oh, bless. I feel I know you. Oh, I'm loving all the patchwork. Thank you, Sarah, sweetheart. It's fabric, it is. I wish I could say I've done that, but I haven't done it. Right, these are Sue's flowers. She crocheted these. These are stunning. So I want to decide now where I want to put that. And I might put it just there. I might put the purple one on, or is the brown one looking? I don't know. Purple or brown, guys? There's a purple one. Or shall I go with the brown one? Purple or brown? There's Sue, and I believe, I remember Sue saying to me that she loved crocheting these. Sarah says purple. Anyone else? I'm gonna lose my thread. Hiya, Judy, sweetheart. Purple, purple. Oh, thank you, Josephine. Right, I'm gonna use purple. Thank you, Josephine. Yes, I've been on this little project, but this is the second week into it. But because Sarah. Sarah came first in my challenge, and I made her a journal. And I thought, well, I could send Lynn all the flowers separately and do it like that. And I love sticking flowers on jars to, you know, pretty my room up from what others have sent me. But then I thought, well, why don't I make use of the flowers? So make it so, like Sarah, Lynn can use it, but yet she can see who's made what. Yeah, meant to say purple. Oh, bless Gillian. Don't worry, my darling. You're on my channel. It's fine with mistakes and spelling. If you guys can forgive my mistakes and spelling, then I surely can forgive your typewriting. Don't you worry. Right, I'm just gonna give this a couple of stitches. I'm gonna go all the way around because I just want it to. And I did all the tags pre-hand. So you cut a tag shape on fabric and then you just fold it over. But make sure you put some, like, because I was embroidering it on the machine, I had my, what did I have? My sewing interface in. I made, oh, I'm not even saying what that says, Mrs. G. Oh, bless you, Lisa. I just think you're so brave telling us. You know, that's something that you could have just said, well, I'm in a hospital. I've come out of hospital, and you could have left it there. I think you're really brave by telling us. Right, 2 more. Okay, so I'm back where I was. Let's tie this off at the back. I'm going to need more thread in a minute. I don't know what name we've got at the top. I'm going to have to check now. Try again. Okay, so that's for that side. We have Pip. Gotta find Pips. And then we're on the other side. Okay, there's my thread. So let's find Pips. Is this Pip? Hey, first hand. First time, right, Pips. Now Pip sent me 1, 2. Right, so I have a white one and I have a green one. So let me show you where it's going. I think the white one, only because it'll fit. I'm just going to trim it ever so slightly back. Yeah, I'm going to do this one. Only because Pip made some beautiful flowers. This was the first one she made me, and this was the first one, and she put little studs through the middle to hold the lace. Isn't that cool? And then that was the second one, and that's got little rosebuds and stamens, I think they call them. Right, I'm going to pop that there, but I will cut it a little bit back so you can see Pip's name. side. Like I say, Lynn and myself, there wasn't enough room to put us on the side. So what I'm going to do, I'm planning on doing, is putting us right at the top of the basket instead of. I just had a thought. I sound like I'm boasting. I'm sorry if I've offended anyone. I'm so thrilled to finally have a show. Oh, Lisa, you're not boasting at all. Don't you worry about that. It's nice to hear that you feel the confidence in order to share it anyway. So you're completely fine. I am just not seeing. The reason I'm not reading all the comments is because I'm like, what was the other one? What was that other comment? That's the only reason. But you're not boasting at all. You're completely fine, sweetheart. I just think you're really brave. Brave for going through it and brave for sharing it with us. I am back where I was. I'm going to push that right through. Right. Tie this off. And I'm going to cut it down ever so slightly so that you and Lynn are going to see her name. I have a list, and so far I've ticked off the gallbladder, back teeth. Ah, hiya Kim, sweetheart. How are we this evening? Right, so Pip's name is there, so I'm just going to ever so slightly cut this. I don't really want to cut it, but I know if I don't, I won't see the name. There, I'm just about to see it there. Right, so that's that side done. So we have, that's mine and Lynn's. So that's that side done. So I'm going to leave that to one side a minute. Now I'm on the how to build the side up. Okay, so when you cut your pattern piece, it comes in 2 pieces. Well, you'll have 4 pieces. You want one for the inside and one for the out. So all I've done is I've sewed these tags on only on one piece, so that when I do put it together, you won't see any of these stitches. Oh, I hope I'm not destroying it, Lisa. Call security, call the craft police. Shh, don't tell Pip I've done it. It's our secret. So put your now what I've done, because I've got a straight edge running alongside you, move this to one side a second. So you've got it there. I'm going to put a couple of pins in. A couple of pins in, and then I'm going to cut it. So let me move this up so you guys get to see. So take your ruler and your rule cutter. Okay, move it up. Right. I'm going to do this side first. is because I can't put the strength through my arms. That's the only reason it's not cut it properly. All right, there's one. Let me move this down there. And move this one. And I'm not worrying about the top at the moment. Okay, so I need a roller cutter. What you don't crash and burn. Yeah. Oh, hi, River, sweetheart. Hi, Deborah, sweetheart. Have you received the prize, sweetheart? I have put it in the post, so you should receive any day now. So does clap. So does clap what? So does clap what? You all saying? What have I got? What have I got? Crash and burn. I know all about crashing and burning. I'm always doing it. Right. Get all your pieces together. I'm just going to put a couple of pins in. Pizza cutter didn't work. Oh, I need a roller cutter. They're called, I know you're on about. They are called, wait a minute now, rotary cutter. That's what they're called. Now, I got mine from Amazon. And no, I can tell a lie. I got it from. Okay, sweet. Well, it should be with you any day now. It should be any day now. Should be with you because it should be with you any day. It should. Looking forward to you grabbing it. What was I saying? I buy the blades from Amazon and I bought the rotary cutter itself from the range. Right, once you've got all that now, front and back, I'm going to be doing those decorative lines, quilting lines, I think they call them, the right proper terminology for them. The way I'm going to be doing that is straight stitch. Move my T. Right, straight stitch, and you're just going to go at an angle. Now, I'm going to do this pretty quick because I'm not being fussy about it. You will go over those tags. Take the pins out as you go, and this is because you're not putting any of the stitches around. Because you're not putting the stitches around the edge, you've got to do this in order for it to it'll flatten it down, and B, this is your stitches, and this is what I mean. I haven't done any seam binding, but I will do that and show you all how I make that. So all you're doing is just going across. Now I'm leaving about it's probably about 3 to 4 inches between each line, and you don't have to be neat about this at all. Move that pin. Okay, so now I've gone that way, I need to go the other way. So I'm sort of making like a little diamond shape. I'm using my stitches to do it. And that's all there's basically to that. So you want to do this to your front, your back, and the sides of the basket, because that'll help your it'll help the basket be as soft but as firm as possible and sturdy as possible without it coming apart. I know I got a question. So yes, I'll show you what it's all looking like in a minute. And then this one. Okay, straight stitch, that's all that was. I'm looking at my tea. I think it's gone cold. So can you see, you can't probably see the stitches, I don't know whether you can or not, but you will see like a diamond shape running on the fabric, and that is because of the way I've stitched it. So I've gone across that way first and then I've come across the other way. You can sit there with some sort of fabric pen, like an erasable marker or dressmaker's chalk, and mark it if you wanted to, so you know where your lines are going if you didn't feel confident to just do it. You can also pinpoint it and do it exactly between 3 inches, 4 inches, whatever, you know, because these are probably about 2 to 3 inches apart, I would have said. Right, now I've got all that. It's now this turn. I'm just making sure I've got my threads cut off. I have. It's this turn. Ooh. Before I forget, Hobbycraft had quite a few big foil pads down there for £4 each. Foil pads. I think they know they have competition from the works finally. Oh wow. There's no one page. There's no normal page. Oh, now Sarah, I'm gonna have to go and have a look at that. Right, some names. Did I got some thread from the last flower we could put on? I'm gonna have to have a look. So you know that I got a question then, Sarah, because I always find, right, every time I buy foil paper pads, they're all the same. Are they all the same, and are they double-sided? Lots of questions for you. And what size is the paper pad? Yes. Oh, then that'd be better. Be able to see you and me, Hobbit. I know. I was just thinking that, Rian. Just thinking that. We'll have to make a trip. Oh, we'll have to. Me and you gotta go. Rian. Me and you definitely. Can you imagine? We'll be hours in there. Right. This one was Tammy. So let's find Tammy. We've got Tammy, Carolina, Mary, and Karina. So whose is this? This is Tammy's. Perfect. 12 by 12, right? Are they the same? They're the same paper pad. 30 sheets, 2 times 15 designs. Oh wow, Sarah, I'm gonna have a look at them. Oh, look at that. Tammy has made one so the paper clip so it can come off, and one is a sewn on one. So I don't know whether to go. I think I'm going to go with that one. If I go with this one. No, I'll go with that one. Oh, single-sided print, so you don't have to sort of sit there and choose between the two. So that's good. I don't even have to sew Tammy's on because she thought about it already. Hi. I'll tell Lynn's Tammy's can come off if she wants to take it off. How cool is that? A clip on the back. She must have known that I was going to sew it on. So that is Tammy. Actually, I might move it down a little bit. So I can't go any down here because this is the bottom of the basket. Hence why I'm not going right to the bottom. No. Come on now. There, perfect. There's Tammy's on. Right, what's next? Carolina's next. That's Karina's. I know that's Karina's. Angie's, we did Angie's. That's Carla's. We did Carla's. This is Karina's. When's called Botanical Vintage, Flowering Blues, a Mysterious Past. Oh, Rian, me and you're going to have to make a trip. Now, Miss Karina did me a selection of flowers, beautiful, stunning flowers. So, as there's more than one, I'm gonna pop it just on there. I think I'm gonna go with them too. Have I got enough to put 3 on? Don't think I have. I'll have a look. Yeah, I have. Woohoo. Right, let's stick these. Karina always makes beautiful flowers. I want to put a couple of stitches through here to begin with. Right, and then I'm gonna pop. I want to pop Karina's there. I'm not going through the center because I don't want you to see. I don't want Lynn to see my awful stitching. So I'm just gonna pop it underneath the petals. You watch me run out of thread now. Oh my word! They had pads with 12 by 6, 24 sheets, single-sided, 2 pads. Oh wow! Oh wow! Oh yeah, Miss Rian, we have to make a trip. I like the sound of you say botanical vintage, Sarah. I like the sound of that one. And I've been looking at how to store, like ideas on how to store paper pads. And one girl on YouTube, I don't know whether you all know about this, see if you do. One girl, to store her paper pads, she used, you know those wired racks. They go on your sink, and they're for when you do the dishes. And so you put the dishes on this rack that's on this sinking board. And anyway, these wired racks can hold 12 by 12 paper pads. And I never knew that until the other day. I was like, oh, that's a really good idea. And it did work. So yeah. Why, you know, does everybody know what I mean by the sink covers? I'm going to pop another stitch just on the back, tie this off, and then sew the other 2 on. Come on. Wired racks, and I was like, oh, that's a good idea. And apparently you can jazz them up. A dish rack, yeah, dish rack. She used a dish rack to store 12 by 12 paper pads, and she decorated it all up. And when she said it was a dish rack, a drainer, I was like, what? I wouldn't have never known. The other one she used was stamp. The ink pads that you can not the inks themselves, the pads that you use, like the dabbers that you use for your inks. Well, the other idea that she had was, you can buy them. You can buy drawer separators to put in a kitchen, or like to put in a bedroom to separate. It's usually pants and socks. It's the only way to, or underwear, should I say. But yeah, she used this drawer separator. She took the separator, she put it in her own drawer in a craft room, and then these dabbers that you will use all the time for inks, they fitted perfectly in this drawer separator. And apparently you could pick these drawer separators up for a couple of pounds in Pound World. And the other one she said you could do is Walmart is the other place that stores these drawer separators, but they store your ink, not your inks, your dabbers and all your inks. It's depending on yeah. So I've been looking at ideas and inspiration on how to organize my things and keep them organized. The other idea she had was, the desk tidies. I see them all the time. Wilkinson's, Poundland will do it. I've seen them online, Hobbycraft. I'm sure you can get them abroad. I'm sure you can. And anyway, these desk tidies fit stamping pads in perfectly. I wouldn't have never. And so instead of them being like in a drawer, and they can become quite a pain, you can put them in a desk tidy and they fit perfectly in there. But I like the idea of a dish rack because she decorated it up all in pink, and she had pink lace stripping from it. It was beautiful. And I would never have thought a dish rack to store 12 by 12 paper pads, because I can store anything else. I can store 6 by 6, not a problem. 8 by 8, not a problem. But when it comes to 12 by 12 paper pads, I find it really hard. So has anyone else got like any inspiration ideas they want to share with how you store your paper pads? Or do you use anything around your house that is not necessarily made for an organization, and you use it to organize your craft things? Like at the moment in my room, I've got, these garden window boxes that you can buy. Well, I've got them in my craft room on my window, and even though it's a bit overcluttered at the moment, I use them, and they are window boxes. They are garden window boxes. The other thing I had today, see, I'm full of ideas tonight. I don't know what it is. The other idea I had today, Chris had a new drill, and he had, cardboard, and which I always keep anyway, because any packaging like that, the cardboard's really, really good to keep for things. And yeah, he had a new drill, and the packaging was this. I'll show you now. But I don't know where my idea came from. Maybe it's because I've been watching how to organize my room a bit better. Baking sheet storage rack, which I help my scoreboard. I have a baking sheet storage rack which I keep my scorecard paper trimmers in. Wow, Brianna would never have thought of that one. That's a good idea. Josephine says, I have a plastic wine rack for the fridge, and they stack on top of each other, and I got them from Poundland, and I have my pens. Wow, that's a really good one. Lisa, we were talking about whether you've got anything in your room that's actually not for craft. It would be, you know, it's for something else around the house, but you use it to store your crafting things. I was telling the ladies about this lady on YouTube, and she used a dish drainer to store her 12 by 12 paper pads. But I like the idea that Josephine and Rian came up with about plastic wine racks, because I was thinking of as well as them, you know, the cupboard, I don't know what you would call them. They're like a shelf, and you basically put them in your cupboard, and then you would have, instead of having one shelf to put your tin food, you sort of have two, because they're like little plastic. I'll show you what I mean now, because I've got them in my room and that I keep my jars on. But I'll show you this piece that Chris had today in his drill. And he went, "What the heck are you keeping that for?" And when I told him, he went, "Well, I don't understand." So this is what this is why I wanted it. So we've got two more to sort out. This. So this was on the packaging for Chris's drill. So it wasn't his drill, it was a drill bit or something. And this was on the packaging, the label up the top. So I cut the label off, and this is what I'm going to use it for. So put this aside a sec. We'll go back to this. So this is my idea now. As you can see, I've got loads of brushes. Some of the brushes I use all the time. Some of them I use for special things. But then I thought, how can I differentiate what brushes to use? And then I came across this, like this, and I was looking at it and looking at it and looking at it. So this fits in. This was on one of the tool bits. I need to cut it down. Oh, wait a minute. It fitted perfectly earlier when I was doing it myself. Let me round the edges off. Right, so it fits in like that. And then I have, oh God. And then I have my paintbrushes, but they're almost in their own holder. And it was a thing on Chris's drill. How cool is that? So instead of them being loose and them looking untidy, some of them don't fit, but my thin ones, I'm always looking for my thin brushes. But with this, I can clearly see it, and it would be clearly visible. I like that. I like that little gadget. Chris went, "Why are you keeping that for?" I went, "Oh, well, you wouldn't understand even if I told you." So it was on his drill bit. So have a look when you throw your packaging out, what kind of things you can keep. Because like I say, I keep most of my things. I keep jars that, you know, like tin jars, jam jars to put my beads in. I've kept that one, that little gadget. I just keep little things. I don't know. Yeah, I just keep little bits and pieces. Cool fine cut. I know, really cool. And only me. I think 3 days of. Oh, bless you. You weren't eating your dinner, were you, girls? Nah. Yeah, he's too far. But I'm going to shout at him now because I want to put you. If you have a crock pit aisle, you can make another's grids. What are they, Mrs. Rian? Can I now? Can I indeed? I want to know what that is. Right, whose name am I looking for? Mary's. This is Mary's. And then we're on to the sewing bit of the basket. A crock hole dial. It's a hole puncher. Yes, you'll have to show me next time. They punch holes. Oh wow, I'm gonna have to invest in that. I know I got something to tell you. You know how I love my buttons? and just a tad love of my buttons. I'm in love with them. Just a tad. Well, I found this gadget that I can make my own buttons. I can make my own buttons. So there's a video. I'm going to show you guys how I'm going to do that. So I'm going to put that one there. Making my own buttons. Only me, because I love my buttons. Right, and we have Carolina, which I'm also on. Like you say, we're on then to put in the basket together. Let me just next week I'm gonna do, you know that I started it a couple of weeks back. It was a Beatrix Potter Bluebell. I was doing it using your buttons. I know, I can't help it. I had to find something. What was I gonna say? Yeah, next week. You know that Beatrix, was it Beatrix Potter? Peter Rabbit. I did out of the magazine. Well, I had a message from them. They watched my video. And I'm not joking, they did. It was Quilters Make, and they watched my video. I had a message off them. So if they're watching, hello, thank you for watching. I was so thrilled to have a message off them. So I'm going to finish it next week, because I think there's this month's issue will be the next piece to my applique. So I'm going to finish that next week. But I'm going to show you how to make flowers using just your machine. And that doesn't involve me cutting up anything or anything like that. It just involves me and my machine and making flowers. No cutting involved. So yes, I'll be doing that next week. Finishing it off and making my own flowers. I have added some more bluebells to it. So for those that didn't miss it, I'll show you now what I'm on about. I can give it a couple more stitches out. Come on. Then I got Carolina's to do. Right, so tie this on the back. We have the one last flower to do. That's it for the side flowers, because I've done, I think I managed to fit. I think it's either 3 or 4 on each side. Okay, where am I now? Am I got one more last one to find, or is that it? One more to find. Good night, Josephine. Thank you for popping in, sweetheart. I do appreciate it. Right, let me see if I can find. Oh, am I looking for Carolina's? I think is this Carolina's? No, that's Lynn. Is Carolina's? No, that's Sarah's. Aha, Carolina's. Carolina's were these 2 flowers. So I think because we've gone with purple, I think I'm going to pop that one there. Okay, so let me get some thread. I'm going to sort this. Sort this out, and then we're going to put it together, put the basket together. Make the seam binding right at the very end. There is no rush for that. Right, move out the way. Nope, scrap that. Found it. Let's check into your chairs for the flower. Oh, bless. You're losing things, Lisa, sweetheart. I'm always doing that. There's a night gnome that comes into my room and he moves my stuff all the time. Guarantee I come in and his stuff being moved. Right, I'm just gonna pop the stitches underneath these petals so you don't see the stitches, so to speak. Oh, move that there. Where am I? There. He does the same in my house too. Has anybody else got a night gnome? Move stuff or pinches stuff and then you can't find it and then you end up making the exact same thing and then realize in a day or an hour, 10 minutes, that it appears again. My night gnome's always moving things. One more stitch, I think, for this flower. There's my stitch. Right, I'm going to move this up. Tie it on the back. Oh my god, I'm so pleased it's not just me. It definitely is not you, Lisa, sweetheart. It happens to me all the time. Has anyone else got a night gnome? Right, tie this and then I'm going to put the basket together then. So because I'm building the flowers up, it was easier for me to put the flowers on and then do the basket. But if you're just making the basket and you just want to add a couple of flowers, you could do that once the basket's done. Right, so I have mine and Lynn's tags for the top because we couldn't fit ours around the edge. That doesn't matter. Right, two sides. Let me just move. I got threads sticking to me now. Get off, get off. Right. Two sides. This is our two sides. They're looking quite pretty in there. Right, so the first thing we need to do is make sure we have those two lips. So our straight side, one side of it. And all you're going to do is take these two edges inside out and you're going to leave about 1/4 inch. Now I got this little inch gap tool with ruler that I always use if I'm doing things like this. So about 1/4, so 1/4 would be there, 1/4's there, 1/4's there. And you want some pins to pin it in place. And I've got straight stitch on my machine. Good night, Sarah. Thank you for popping in, sweetheart. And I'll be sure to keep my eye out for your video tomorrow when you pop it up. There's no rush. I'm just so pleased that you love everything that got sent. So 1/4 inch. There's my 1/4 done. Both sides. Make sure you catch it both sides. And then the top is exactly the same. But my top is going to be a bit bulky because I've got the flowers there. So I'm going to go here. So 1/4 inch would be there. And I'm going to stick a pin in. Oh, where can I stick a pin? Okay, that'll do. Right. Sure I got it flat now, and I'm just gonna okay, and then you're gonna sew from there straight across. Hello Lorna, sweetheart. How are we this evening? So back stitch all the way. Right, so you will have something that looks a bit like that. That's what that will look like. Now I have caught the very top of that tag in there on the flower. Just catch there. So you'll have something that looks a bit like that. So I'm going to cut that down because I don't need all that. And I'm going to get my iron out, which is here. It's not plugged in. You'll have to bear with me while I plug it in. And this is the exact same basket I made for Miss Dee. Yes, I pronounced it wrong, Lisa. I have tried, but Lorna said, call me whatever's easy for you. I know her name's not Lorna. Sometimes I get it right and sometimes I get it wrong. And every time I try and correct myself, I always get it wrong. And we had a giggle last week, didn't we, sweetheart, about how I'm giving you an extra name. Right, so take these pins out while I remember, because I'll only forget they're there. Right, so turn it the inside out. So you want it so that the flowers, well, my flowers are facing down, the outside fabric is facing down. And all you're going to do is separate, for now at least, is separate these fabrics. All you're going to do, just for now. Do it. I need this. Right, now I'm going to try and do it. God. Okay, there's one. I'll sort out the thingamabobs in a second. And then you do the same to this side. Split it so that, you know, there's your two lining of fabrics, which mine is there. Then I'm going to get a piece of this fabric. It can be like only a little piece you want. So I'm going to sort the top out first before I sort the bottom out. Tack these corners in, these sides in. And you're going to sew that on there like so. That's what we need to do next, is get our pieces. That's not big enough, so I'm going to cut it. Looks like an ambiguous project. Yes, it is. I know you try. Yes, it is. It is. It's very challenging. But yes, I know what you're saying. Oh, thank you, sweetheart. I do try. Right, I'm going to move that out of my way. So what I need for that little gap is roughly 2 inches, so probably about 4 inches. So if I cut there, and I'm going to cut that on the ends. Without doing it. Okay. And I'm going to cut this off as well. I want roughly 4 inches. Let's do 4.5, it will be safe. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 4.5 is here. Okay. Then I'm gonna turn to my sewing machine, and all I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna roll that side in, so I make a bit of a seam allowance for myself. And I'm gonna do that on both sides. Right. Just roll this over, sew this down so you can sew the other side. There's that side sewn, and then I'm going to do the same to the other side. So all the way down, so you've got sort of you made 2 little hem lines for yourself. So the corners, I'm just going to cut at an angle. That'll give us a nice little edge. Roll it again. Yeah. Okay, there's that one sorted, done. And then the same for this side. So cut it at an angle, and then I'm going to get rid of that piece of cotton, and then roll it so you create your seam, bit of a seam edge, because these they won't be shown as in shown because the flowers will be covering them, but if you didn't have the flowers like I've got all the way around, then they will be. Okay, so we now have our piece. So take your basket. Now it's good that side, so I'm not worried. And I'm gonna just cover the side, which I'm gonna be able to do without catching anything else. This is the inside. And I'm gonna sew that on. Let me clip it first. Put a pin through. And I'm just gonna clip that there like so. It's like in my position on my machine. I'm gonna knock all this speed down as well, I think. So take your edges first. Don't worry about the top because the top will sew itself when you begin sewing it. Move this right round. Move that all the way around. My pin up. I don't want that to come up. So cut it. And this is what it should look like. So let me get you back up because my chart's gone. See what you've been saying. It was I hate autocorrect. It's even worse on the Mac and iPhone. I sent a message to my daughter. It wasn't well. Wonderful. Oh, thank you, Rian. I'm ambitious. I know what you're trying to say. I can't say it. I know what you're trying. Oh, thank you, Lorna, sweetheart. So can you see our little piece is covering the top? That's what you want to do. We need our piece now to cut the bottom. Now you don't need it on the other side if you didn't want to. I'm not going to bother on the other side. I'm only just going to bother on the inside. With the top, it's going to be seen. So that's why I've done back and front. But with the bottom, it's not going to be seen. So I'm not really fussed. So with the bottom, you want to make sure you have enough. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut my piece. Ambitious. There we are. I said it. It's only because I was thinking about it. Yes, it is a very ambitious project. Ambitious. That's what Lorna was saying to me. I go there. Oh, wait. Scissors. There's that one. And I'm going to cut this side as well. And I'm going to roll the sides in like I did on the front. So let me pin. I'm going to use my clips instead of my pins, I think. You can press these seams down if you wanted to. It's totally up to you. I'm going to make sure now in a second that I've got enough to fit where I want it to go. So you all want to see my kitchen and what I've been up to. See? I'm going to sew all that and then I'm going to cut it down. I think that's my... That looked a bit dangerous with the rotary cutter. Yeah, don't copy me with the rotary cutter. I'm not safe. I'm not safe when it comes to the rotary cutter. Don't take inspiration from me for the rotary cutter. You'll either catch yourself on fire, cut yourself. What other things will you do? Yeah, not to be trusted. I did something else the other week, and it was a couple of months back, and it made me giggle because my mother phoned me up during the live, and she went, "I can't believe you've just done that." She went, "What do you mean?" She said, "You've used a metal ruler to cut fabric." I went, yeah. "No, Colette," she said, "you don't cut a metal ruler to cut fabric." I went, "Well, I don't know, do I? I just grab the first thing to hand." I know, slice my fingers off. Yeah, I'm dangerous. I wonder if I have enough to go around. I don't know whether haven't got enough, so I'm just going to cover that edge. I'm not worrying about the sides because the sides are going to get covered now in a second. Well, they will get covered with the what do you call it? What do you call it? The bias binding, seam binding. I was going to say then bias binding. There's that one, and I'm not doing top and bottom. I'm just doing sides. So those are the sort of the sides done, really. Because we've just covered the bases, like I say, don't worry about the edges. They're going to get done. That is the top edge, so the basket will sit something like that with the flowers on each end. So I'm going to sew the back on with you. Right, the back of the back is the straight part of the sides, and all you do, I'm going to cut this down because I'll need it to, all you do is, now you, for this you will need some clips, and it is a bit fiddly. Where's all my clips gone? Oh, see, my gremlin's been in my room again. Right, for this you'll need some clips. I'm going to pop my reach. It will. Right, pop that on the floor. Right, this is the top, this is the bottom. Lay it up like that. Work out your top and your bottom for this. And all you're going to do is take a couple of pegs. Like I say, it is a bit fiddly because you want to get it, you want to get this with your machine. And I'm just going to peg it. I'm just going to go around, peg my edges. So any tags or any flowers, I'll pin them back in a sec. See, with this little tag here, don't particularly want to be catching in my, when you're sitting, it is hard when you're sitting down with a rotary cut. I do find it difficult because I don't know whether anybody else is the same, because I find it extremely difficult because I haven't got the, sometimes I have and sometimes I haven't. Tonight I haven't got the strength in my arms to put through the rotary cutter in order to cut it. Some nights I genuinely have got the strength, but some nights I don't have it, and tonight is one of those nights. Right, I'm going to do the other side. You just pin it. That's all you're doing at the minute, is pinning it. And for this I'm going to use white thread. And what else am I using? White thread. Oh, I tell you what I've forgotten to do. I've forgotten to do the, see, wait a minute. I'm using white thread and I'm using straight stitch. But first of all, I need to do some seam binding on the top. So let's see if I've got enough of this fabric, just of this fabric, to do the, move this out the way, just to do the edges of my work. So with the seam binding, you want to cut it at an angle because it gives the fabric the stretch it needs in order to do it. So this is, I'm going to mark it. I need 3 inches approximately. And there is my line there. No plate left to mark it. I'm trying to cheat. Wait, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 3 there. So I should now have my lines. Yeah, I do. Oh, come on. Right. I'm going to just cut. Right. Right. This should be enough. Yeah, that's enough to go around the edge. That's all I want it for at the minute. It's really hard using embroidery. It is hard, and you're right. Cut off the salvage of this fabric because we don't want to be using that. And then all I'm going to do is fold it. Fold it in half. I need a iron for this. I'm going to move this out of the way. So you fold it in half once. So it touches like so. Let's reach for it and it wasn't there. Oh. And then you iron it and press it. This is what gets you your seam binding. So with any sort of seam binding, you want to be cutting it at an angle. The only reason I cut it at an angle is because, say, I haven't got, with that fabric especially, I know I haven't got enough to go around the edges. So I will join it, cut it at an angle and then join it. So open it up, get your line in the center, open it up, fold it in one place, like there. And then fold it in another in the exact same center where you've just been. This closes in your rough edges, so you don't get any of your edges on the outside. And then fold it over where you just had it, and that becomes your seam binding to go over your fabric, so it sandwiches it between it. So if I bring this back over, I know we've pinned it. Bring this in, and all we're going to do is I'm going to just pin it. Got a couple of pins. One there, one there, and I want to cut it here. Doesn't matter if I've got left over, doesn't matter at all. And then I'm going to sew it. So sew this bit first. I should have done this before I started pegging it round with the pegs. Move this pin. Make sure you grab the fabric in between. This is why I wasn't fussed when it was coming to the edges. Move this out the way. Pin. that is your seam binding for your edge. That's how you do it. Right, so where was we? So I'm going to pin this now totally with the totally in there. I need to bring it down. So does it go on that side? Where's that? No, it doesn't go that side. Claire. I'm second guessing myself now. Right, where's the top? Where's the bottom? There's the bottom. Let's have that on the outside. That's better. That looks more better. Well, I just had it. Right. Turn it. Pin it. And then pin it all the way up then. One. Two. I do like the sound of Sarah's pads that she's bought. I like them very much. It's about time Hobby Craft did nice paper pads anyway, because usually you don't really, you know, I find anyway, especially I always find that I can never find any nice paper pads in Hobbycraft. Right, all I'm going to do is just pin the edges, so that becomes my back. So the next step is to sew this on. So I'm going to sew the back on, I'm going to sew the front on. I might do the same binding next week. We'll see how we go for time. So start off in a place where you know you're going to come around. And if there's anything like i.e. I've got those flowers, if there's anything that's going to get in your way while you sew, clip it back with some pins. That's the only advice I would give you, is to clip it back with some pins. So I'm going to start here, and I'm going to make my way. I'm going to start with the flowers facing me because I think that's better than doing it the other way that I wanted to do it. So last time I did this, I got in a right kerfuffle because I kept missing the basket. Let me take this pin out. Keep your pegs near you, because you'll need them now to sew on your front. Get that out. Take this pin out. You'll see now what I mean by the edges. Oh, it's gonna get a bit fiddly. I'm hearing Claire talking very slowly. Anyone know why? Am I talking slowly? I do apologize. Is it because I'm concentrating? Oh, bless. I'm sorry. I'm trying to think that I'm doing this right or wrong. I might be talking quietly. I do tend to do that when I'm concentrating. I don't want to mess it up. I do apologize. So get all these pins out of my way. Right, and I go one more by here. No, it's back. Right, are you ready? Oh. Right, there is the back of our basket sewn on. That's what it looks like. It's not much handle, but you could make these sides longer if you wanted to create a bit more of a handle. So what I did on the last basket, and the instruction or the video doesn't tell you to do this, is I went around very quietly with my pinking shears because I didn't want to have too much bulk in my what am I trying to say, the seam binding. I didn't want too much bulk to go on the seam binding, so I just went round with it with the pinking shears to make sure I grasped everything I needed to grasp. And if you haven't caught it, I'll show you in a second. I haven't caught some of this. See how I haven't caught the fabric? I'm just going to pin it. And because I've cut the edges back, I should be able to swimmingly pin that and go over it again. So I'm just going to go over this side again. And then I'm going to do the front. But yeah, it's coming together. And yes, Lorna, life is too short to worry about little things. I watch inspirational videos. I think you can call them that. And this guy said life's too short to worry about the little things, and to have people in your life that are positive and that you feed off each other, because otherwise you just, I don't know, you just get stuck, I suppose, and you get upset. So I never think what if I had done, and what if I had done that. There's the back of the basket complete. Now can you see by my edges, I'm not, yes, you can see them at the moment, but with the seam binding you won't be able to see them at all. Just going to cut that down a little section. Now the front, this is the front, we need to do a little bit of work too before we pin it onto here, and the only work we do to that, which I'm going to get my thread and my needle. I've got my doll needle here. Do I need my iron? No, I don't need my iron. Not at the moment, I don't anyway. Right. Oh, it's going to look like a basket now. You watch. Watch it come into life. Right. And I've got mine and Lynn's flowers to stick on as well, which I think what I might do is, I know what I might do. Right. So the bottom of the basket, as you can see, I've got all the flowers. So anything that I don't want the threads catching, pin back. Any flowers, or if you've done any decorations, pin all that back. So you start from this edge, and I'm going to put a very small little knot in just to keep me going. And I think they call this a basting stitch, I think. Don't count me on it. So all you're going to do is do long stitches, close, not near the edge, but about a quarter of an inch away. Oh my word, this isn't there, that's better. Long stitches. I think they call this a basting stitch, I'm not sure. Ivory black sense of humor. People often get my ex-nurse who needs that. Yes, you are. I love your sense of humor, Rian. I think it's so lovely. And me and you, we do have giggles. They do in America. In the UK, we call it a tacking stitch. Ah, right. Okay, I see. That's because then I've been watching American ladies on YouTube. That's why I've got a big spin stitch in my mind. Right, so gather all your stitches. Now you want to take it up to the corner, just beyond the corner. Right, so I started there and I finished there, and all you do is gently pull it, right, and then you gather your, bearing in mind I've still got my pin in, you gather this up and you work out how big it has to be. I think that's just about right. So I'm going to tie this off by making a real small knot, and you won't see any of this because when I come to doing it on the machine, none of these stitches will be seen. Okay, cut this off, and then I'm going to use my pegs again, find the center. So the center is just about there, I would say. So. And peg him on. Make sure you got all your fabric, and then bring him round. All these pegs. That's why I never put them away. They don't realise you are insulting men when they think you are joking. No, they definitely don't. Wales, when men are men, people are scared. I feel you can just about anything to as long as people say it with a wide smile on your face. Yes, exactly, Donna. Do you know one thing I've forgotten to do? And I nearly forgot on that, so I'm going to take these pegs off. Right, see if anybody guesses what I've forgotten to do. Anyone know what I've forgotten to do that I've done on this one? I've done on the back. I nearly forgot it on the back. Anyone know? Anyone know? We roughly need about there, I reckon. So where are you all watching me from tonight? And if anybody says they're bad, I'm going to kill them. I'm going to cut this off, and I need 3 inches like the other side. So binding, exactly, Rian, exactly. Yeah, I need the binding. Right. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And 1, 2, 3. Oh, there. Okay. This is for the binding for the front. Come on. Right. Your nose, the onions. 5 minutes away in my bed. Oh, Miss Rian, you never did say that to me. Right, let me see if this is enough. Yeah, plenty. Right, get rid of this mat. I'm going to get rid of this mat. And I'm going to get rid of the back, so we don't need that. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to fold this in to do our front, like I did for the back. It's getting there. It'll look like a basket now once I've done it. Well, I think we'll need one more live, I think. on this basket because I've got to do the binding round and I don't want to rush it. I haven't cut the binding out. So I think next week I'll finish the basket off and I shall make some flowers because mine and Lynn's flowers have yet to go on there. So I'll make some flowers up for next week. Well, I'll make flowers on next week's live. Also, what I was meaning to say. And I think it's another live. Yeah. So Canada, wow, Canada. On Friday evening, I'm tucked up 9 p.m. so I can watch Colette's live. Oh, bless you. I am on my nap time. And I nearly said, oh, bless you. Oh, guys. I won't be on for long. Don't you worry. You can all go. You can all go to bed now in a sec. I just want to put the front of my basket on. Now I'm off. Well, all I was going to say to you was, does anyone know of any challenges going on? I'm lost now because I know Lynn had one, but hers is over. So does anyone know for any more challenges that are going on that I can yell out? Because I'm lost. Completely am lost. I'm going to put some pegs here. Any challenges? You are a hazard with that iron. I know I am. I know. Like I say, don't copy me with the iron or the rotary cutter. You're welcome to copy or be inspired with a basket. That's fine, but just, yeah. I'm not safe at all. Does anybody know of some challenges going on? Miss Rian, do you know for any challenges? I'm just going to clip this down and stitch this on, and then we can stitch this to the basket then. Right, so scissors. Right, let's stitch this. So Sam, the Scottish crafter's got one. Has she now? Hello, how the hell do I get this compression garment off in 2 weeks' time? I am in. Oh, bless you. Oh, bless you, sweet Lisa. I'm just going to stitch all this now together, and then I'm going to pin it to the basket. Keep turning. I don't want it to catch the flowers, so that's why I'm pulling the flowers back as I go. Sam's Scottish Crafter. Make journalisms for Sam's journal for Sam's challenge. All right, okay. Oh, that sounds interesting. Right, I've done some seam binding on the edge. Now it's just basically to find my middle, which is between there. Grab my pegs and start pegging it all the way around. I can pull the tacking stitch. Hey Lisa, I remembered the tacking stitch at the bottom if I wanted to make it a bit wider to go around, or I can just leave as is. Make sure I got all my fabrics. Again, if I don't want any of these, I have to remember to take all these pins out, because knowing me, I'll send them with the pins in. Linda will go, ow, well that's beautiful. Ow, can you imagine? Right, I'm going to bring that up a little bit more. There's too much. There, that's better. I can now see. All right, peg. side. See if I can find my pegs. They're around here somewhere. Make sure it stays only so you can get in. Need a pot of Vaseline and a crowbar to shift this thing, none of which I have. Oh, sweetheart. You feel like a new woman now. You watch. In a couple, how many weeks did they say that you'll be sort of back to normal? Because I take it you can't lift anything or do anything. My pegs. Right, I'm going to make sure that I've got that right up to the edge, because this is the bit that caught last time I sewed this basket. And I didn't catch it because there. Just check. I'm just checking. Over there. Peg, clip. Right. Move them out the way. Move that out the way. Anything else I've got to move out the way? Right. I have a couple of weeks for tops. Oh wow. I would have expected you to say longer than that then. Right. I'm going to start sewing. Oh, sugar. Start sewing it now all the way around. Right, I'm going to, oh, come on. Oh, yeah. Take this clip out. Next clip. Next clip. Keep taking the clips out as you go around. I'm going to take the pins out now in a minute. It's a bit fiddly and it does get a little bit thick because I'm going through 4 different fabrics. It is worth it. And you could hand stitch this, I suppose, as well. Oh, it's getting fiddly. Come on. I'm going to stop there. I'm going to take Tammy's pin out, Tammy's flower, just for the second while I do on the edge. That's better. Catch that on the side. Nearly done. And that's done. Nothing keeps me down, Colette. Looks like you have made friends with your machine. Now, Colette, you are so much faster. Yes, I have. I love my machine, I must admit. We'll take these pins out. You put Tammy's flower back in. Yeah, I love my machine. I'm always on it now. You can't catch me doing anything else but sewing. And I love the fact sewing's given me a lot of freedom with my projects. I'm not sort of stuck now on what to do. Just checking that I haven't got any pins anywhere. There's a pin there. There. And that is our basket. So that is the basket. That's the front. Hi, Tammy, sweetheart. That is the front with everyone's names on. I take that pin out. On all the tags and everything. And all the tags that have come over and everything. So that's the front. These are the sides, again, with all the tags, all the flowers. They go right up to the very top. Sam's tag, there's Janet's, there's Sue's. So Lynn can see all this, and then that's the back. So next week, I think it's another live on this. Yeah. I don't want to rush it. So next week I'm going to be doing seam binding around this. I'm going to be making some flowers on live. I've got mine and Lynn's flower to somewhere add. I don't know where yet, but we've got to add our flowers. And yeah, that is the basket as it is. And it does stand. So when you put things in there, it has got a bit of a sturdiness to it. When I put the seam binding on, it won't sort of collapse. But this is what it looks like at the moment. And I've caught all the edges, which I am pleased about. That tack and stitch, which I did right at the very bottom, you won't see. Once I've put that seam binding on, you really won't see it. So it's the same way as I've done the seam binding to put on the edges of the basket, these two edges. But next week I will do it longer to go right round, and I'll make my flowers, and I'll put Lynn's flowers also on you, because I have made our tags. Here they are. One's Lynn's and that one's mine. So we've got to somehow put one on. I think we'll have one on the top. I don't know. We'll work it out. We'll work it out. Thank you, Rian. Seems like there are many of us crafters who are chronic illness. Definitely, Lorna, sweetheart. Thank you, Tammy. Oh, thank you, ladies, for all your lovely comments. Oh, thank you, sweetheart. Thank you to everybody who joined in the challenge. All your flowers are on you, and I just hope Lynn loves it as much as I've been loving making it. So like I say, there's another live because I've got to put the seam binding on. I've got to make my flowers. I've also got to put a Lynn's on there. So yeah, I've had fun tonight. So what was I going to say was I will do a video on my kitchen. I know everybody's eager beaver for me to do this video, because there are a few crafty things I've made for the kitchen that I really want to share with you all. So I will do a video just show you what I've made for the kitchen and how I've made it. There's a couple of videos I haven't put up, so they'll be going up in the next few days. And yeah, keep doing your videos. They are so inspiring. I loved watching your videos throughout the week. And if I miss them, I will go back and watch them. If you didn't know about Sam's collab, me and Miss Reeves doing it. Hi, Gillian, sweetheart. Thank you, my darling. Sam's collab is coming up next 2 weeks, I think, second Sunday of each month. So look out for that video. And Sam's doing a challenge. I don't know for anyone else at the moment doing one, but if you are doing one, let me know and I'll give you a huge shout out in my lives. And until next time, thank you so very much for all your lovely comments. I love all of you as well. Thank you so much. And I couldn't have thought of a better way to spend my Friday night with you all. So much love. Have a lovely weekend wherever you are, whatever you were doing, and I will catch up with you all on next Friday at 9 p.m. and we'll finish the basket together. And if you aren't on my Facebook group, I will also catch you on Sunday, this coming Sunday at 7. Until then, God bless. Love to you all. Mwah! And I'll catch up with you all then. Bye for now, ladies. Bye.